My name is Caden Scharpf, and this is my socket project demo. Uh, so I'm going to be using Docker to create each of my end hosts. Each of them are running on a container. You can see here, I've got 6 here. I've got, there's also a container running for the tracker here. So you can see the logs from the tracker in this bottom window. And I've got one window open here for each of the clients here, and I've modeled that after the design document for simplicity, the project description document. So we have Flynn, Brenda, Fritzy, Tao, Gabriel, Julio. You can see the corresponding clients over here. And so here, as a broad overview of what I'm going to be demoing, I'm going to be demoing 2 tweets originating from the 2 devices here circled in red. So if you think, considering that, then you can see that obviously Brenda and Tao are going to be following Flynn if they're included in his loop when that tweet is dispersed, and Tao, or Gabriel and Julio here, are going to be following Tao in order for this this loop to make sense. And you can see the path should go somewhere along, exactly along these lines, because here I've adjusted it to follow the alphabetical order. And so looking based off of here the port mappings for all of the we have the tracker port, the port on the client side that interacts with the tracker, input port for the tweets where they receive the tweets, and output ports where they send the tweets off to the next user in the logical link. So for purposes here, you can see that when the tweet 1 is issued, it should start with Flynn. It should be sent from Flynn to Brenda's port 49005, because that is her tweet input port. That's going to come out of her 49006, come to Tao likewise into his tweet input port. That will be sent on to Flynn to complete the logical link, and after which point Flynn should interact with the tracker to issue an end tweet. So that's the first thing we're going to try to get demoed here. So let's get everyone, as a first step, registered into the tracker. So the way I've done it here is I've just asked for the 3 port numbers up front, as well as the handle, so that we can leave them out of the actual commands from typing them out. But rest assured that the full command is being sent as it's described in the design document behind the scenes. So we're setting the tracker port, input port, and output port for Flynn. We have Brenda now, Tao, Gabriel, Julio, and Fritzy. And since we've set all those ahead of time, that allows us to just type register, and the remaining details would be auto-populated. Oh, silly me. I forgot to restart the server from my last run. Give me a moment. Okay. So the server should be refreshed now. Let's reattach these logs. Okay, so we have server back up and running. Success. Okay, so now we'll query the handles. We've got all 6 of our clients in there. So now let's get some follow commands issued. So staying true to our diagram on the left here, we will have Brenda follow Flynn. And you can see that updating down here in the server. Tao will follow Flynn. You see that Brenda and Tao now follow Flynn, as is in the diagram. Now for our other loop, we'll have Gabriel follow Tao, and Julio follow Tao. Okay, so we see that Julio is now followed by Gabriel and Julio. Wait. Oh, Tao is now followed by Gabriel and Julio. And Flynn is now followed by Brenda and Tao. So now we can initiate our first tweet from Flynn. And so here's the contents of the tweet here, just a tweet from Flynn. And so let's examine the path now that that's taken. So if we look here, it should have gone through Brenda, Tao, and then back to Flynn. So after our tweet command here, Flynn, this command gets issued as a response to a validation from receiving the end tuple from the tracker. So that means that was successful. And that can be backed up. The server doesn't have a log for that, but so if we examine the path now, we look at Brenda. Brenda has received a tweet from Flynn. We have the tweet here. And we see that Brenda is going to be forwarded to Tao, located at this IP address, and this port 49008. Let's see if that's right. Yep. And now if we go to Tao, we see that Tao has received the tweet and he's forwarded to the correct input address for Flynn as we have it here. And to complete the chain, we see that this command gets issued. So that tells us that the tweet successfully made it back to Flynn after it's completely propagated the logical loop. And in the next line, it tells us that we have sent the end tweet to the tracker. And as a confirmation in the tracker logs here, it does tell us that we've received an end tweet from Flynn and that Flynn can now continue issuing commands. So hopefully that completes tweet 1. Next, to demonstrate the second tweet being issued, which is this one here. You can see my cursor. Tweet number 2. So it's going to be issued by Tao. It should follow this path to Gabriel, then Julio, into these corresponding ports. So if we issue a tweet now from Tao, Okay, let's see. So we see it should start with Tao, then head to Gabriel. Initiating a tweet from Tao, sending to Gabriel at 49011. That checks out. We look at Gabriel. Receives a tweet from Tao, forwards to Julia at IP address this and port 49014 for her input port. And that matches our expectation. And then we can check Tao that they indeed received that at their input port 49008. Looks like it was sent. And here we get our confirmation that the tweet was successfully propagated around the loop. And it sends the end tweet, and we get a verification from the tracker that Tao's end tweet is received. They can continue issuing commands. So now that the end tweet has taken place, we should be able to exit Flynn. So let's see.